Hey everybody, this is a little bit different of a setup than I usually have, simply because I'm cold and the rest of the house is freezing cold. And the kids' playroom has an air conditioner in it, but I turned it off. And it's like the warmest room in the house right now and also has the best light. And yeah, so I'm sitting on this little kids' table that I probably shouldn't even be sitting on, but I wanted to get a video. Okay. Seriously though, if this works, I might do this instead of trying to take my planner video in the dining room. Then the kids can have the whole house and I can have this room for an hour or whatever I need. Okay, off of that, now, I can't, excuse me, I can't really remember what my last video was. I think I was like planning my week out. The one where I forgot I was watching my nephew. I think that's what it was. And so I had mentioned where I was doing dailies in both my little weeks notebook and my A6 Stalogy. Fast forward, and as of, was it Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. I decided I don't like the weeks notebook. So I took it out completely, and I love how this shuts now, and it has room that if I want to, if I fluff up my weeks more, which will probably happen. I'm still working on back planning. I still have room to, instead of having that week's notebook in here. And I don't know, I really don't know what it was about it, but I sat down Wednesday, see, because this was my week, which I didn't even use this page, but, okay, I had an interruption. I can't remember what I was saying. I had Monday that I planned. I think I planned this. Yeah, I planned this day with y'all on camera. And then I didn't use it anymore. I didn't even write lunch because we didn't eat lunch. But I will, right quick, go and I got our sheets cleaned. I cleaned Hannah's bed, filmed the planner video. Did I fold laundry that day? Yes. Did I write? I think I did. Excuse me. Yeah, I wrote a little bit. Okay. I did write. I don't think I responded to comments that day. And I had my nephew from 7:15 to 3:30 as usual. All right, and then Wednesday, I did not write until the evening. What is this? School. What the world? This is one of those things where I wrote myself a note, but I didn't write myself the note of what it is, like what it was about. Affirm. Okay, this was, we ordered our kids' school books. And that is, I wrote that note. And it would also help if I could read my own writing. Oh man, look what I did to my pages here. Look at that. That's what I get for uncoiling and coiling and uncoiling and coiling. Anyway. August the 6th. Affirm. $63. We ordered our kids' school books and my daughter keeps interrupting me, but that's what that note was for, so I can remember to write that bill down that's coming out. Actually, it doesn't. I just did that, and it doesn't start until the 6th of September. I've been letting my kids use my markers a lot, so they're damaged. But anyways, I was working through a really hard section on my book I was writing, my work in progress, and then I started writing my sermon notes, and my brain wanders a lot. That's why I write so many notes for my sermon notes, because my brain will wander. If I just try to watch the preacher, my brain just completely turns off. I don't hear a word he says. So I had an idea for one of these books in this House of Praise series about an early baby shunning, which is a big deal in like these cult like churches. And then like I was sitting there thinking the cult would shun a woman for like going to the hospital because she was having problems with a pregnancy, and then the baby ended up coming early. So then she's stuck in the baby's stuck in the NICU, and the cult is like saying, this is your fault, this is God's punishment for turning to the world for your help, and that kind of thing. And then I was like, how does this involve Emily? Like, how to work that in. Anyways, that was just a really dark thought that I had for a book. And then the rest of this is seriously just sermon notes. Like, I seriously will just sit there. I love how this paper sounds, by the way, when I'm turning it. But like, was it this one? No, it must have been Wednesday. But like, I know my husband thinks I'm not even listening to the sermon. No, that was Wednesday. Or the people sitting behind me, because I like this is it right here. I turned it sideways and I just started writing notes and notes and notes. And some of these are like not even, I mean, they're on kind of the topic that he's talking about, the preacher or whatever. But sometimes it'll be like, I'll have a thought and a verse I want to look up later, or like he'll usually use KJV, but then he'll quote out of different versions of the Bible, and like some of the verses he says, it makes me want to look it up in the NLT, which is what I read, and it's just a completely different thing. This my nephew did. I want to make a note of that. Daniel tried to get AJ to write. Sometimes I'll give them a page and I'll say, I'll show you in a minute, in my book, but he wasn't interested. He was writing in a, let's see, and that happened this Wednesday, I think. Yeah, no, it was this day. No, it was Wednesday, because I went back and used this page. So 8/6. Okay, I'll show y'all. I turned around and I gave my daughter this page right here. Here she comes. Actually, it was my son and he went to the other room. Anyways, she wanted to write in my planner, and I had this spread here that I didn't write anything this Tuesday. I need to go back, kind of see what we did, maybe write some notes. I said, here, use this page, because I know I won't use these two for the back planning. So she said she was writing a house. Yeah, I don't know what it became, but she wrote Praise the Lord, Hannah, Mama, and little hearts. It was really cute. So anyway, I'll do that sometimes. And he was like, my eldest was like, can AJ write a page in your book? I was like, yeah, here, give him this one. And then he didn't want to write. But anyway, I think that's why I kind of like the A6 better, because like if I want to turn it sideways and write 400 notes for my sermon notes, or like here, this was just brainstorming a conversation my characters were having in my book, and I was like, okay, they have covered this and this and this, to move the plot forward, they need to talk about these things. I still need to make myself a note that they need to discuss. All right, if you are following me and you're interested in reading my book, just know that if I start talking about my books, you will probably get spoilers. So I'm going to just talk about it because it's part of my planning process. But so they need to discuss Biddle's funeral and going to Biddle's funeral. I should have wrote that on a different page, but here we go. But I did need to know that for Wednesday, so I guess it's applicable. But I know some days I won't go back. Oh, me. Excuse me. And back plan, but like I would like to write some notes about yesterday, because I actually had a really good day. I wrote a ton, but I think I can fit all of that on this one page. And then Thursday I had the baby. I really felt really good. Like I wasn't freaking out or feeling like I was overwhelmed, which is really good for me, especially on days I have the baby. So I need to do that. I also ordered that's what this was. I had to call my bank because I ordered my cover for Let Her Be Silent. And the company that I order from is out of the Ukraine. And for some reason, my bank will not let me order from them. They did, but like the first time I ordered from them, but I had to go back and like have the bank representative on the phone while I was making the purchase. So it was super weird. I'd forgotten about that. I tried to use my bank again. It locked down my card and everything. I got it worked out, but I just had to write a phone number down. And then I X'd it out because it wasn't really important. But anyway, I got the order, the cover ordered, and I love it. I am going to announce it on my Patreon and probably, and definitely my newsletter. I think I'm going to put, yeah, I'll do this in black ink. I'll just do this in ink because it's back planned. Friday, 8. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, what's the point in this video? 8. And then Saturday. This is today. This is not supposed to be a plan with me video, but what I really wanted to do was discuss 2026. So I wanted to talk through like my daily pages, my choice and what I'm doing with my daily pages now. You know, what notebook I decided, which came as a complete surprise. Like, I thought I was going to need a week or a month, you know, to kind of go through, you know, try both kinds, both page sizes, the week's notebook and the Stellology. And then like the very next day, I just picked it up and I was like, I can't do this. I can do this in a week's notebook, but I like this little size, and I think it's going to be beautiful when I get it. Whenever my cover gets here, I will do a video about it, but I think it'll be so cute to have them in here. And then I just, you know, flip it open or I take it out. I don't know how it's going to work. But anyway, I don't want to have that cover just for this. Like, this is my budget book, scheduler, all that stuff. But this is like my brain vomit book. So another thing that I thought about, no Java. My little chihuahua is trying to climb up on the table with me. No, girl. What? What is it? I don't know if y'all can hear her. She's like making the weirdest little squeaky noise. Anyway. I can't remember what I was saying. If it's not the kids, it's the dogs or the cats. Oh yeah. I was watching Taylor over at Mom of More Plants because everybody's like talking about their 2026 Hobonichis. Well, a few people are. I've been thinking about it, and I've been watching their little release thing they do every year. So I know I'm getting a week's. I'm going to do that because I just don't see myself ever, you know, not this year, not this coming year. I don't see myself trying to go back to sterling ink, even though it makes sense to my brain. I have a day per page. It's just, I don't know. I just like the weeks. I like the size of the pages. I like the color of the pages. And I just don't get the same vibe with the sterling ink, and it irritates me because I'm like, that has the perfect amount of pages for me, but then I'm like, nah. Okay, so I'm not doing that. I'm definitely getting weeks. I think I'm going to get a purple, the peony purple, or piney purple, however you say it. I think I'm going to do that. And then the question came up this morning because I was watching Taylor, and she was talking about how she is going to get her standard, what's it called? Standard weeks, and then order an A6 Hobonichi. And I was like, okay, my daughter keeps interrupting me. What the world's up with Java today? Her mom is in heat, so it might be that. We couldn't get her fixed because the clinic freaked out and said they couldn't work on her because of her eyes. She only has one eye, but I mean, she has both eyes, but she's blind in one eye, and they were like saying she had glaucoma. I'm like, no, it's not glaucoma. It was an injury. She's been to the vet several times. She's fine, but they still wouldn't do the surgery. So she's in heat, so that might be what what's the word? What her deal is. Anyways, I was saying, she was thinking about, she's doing the A6 because she was using a Moleskine Pocket Daily a few years ago, and I used it, and I really, really, really love that planner, and I really wish I could use it. And if Moleskine offered a little pocket-sized notebook with 300 and something pages, I would totally use that, but I haven't been able to find one, especially with a soft cover. I'm on a soft cover, and I don't know. I don't even know why I was trying to think about using an A6 Hobonichi, because I don't do well with dated pages for dailies, and I've known that, and I don't know, but I was thinking about that, and I'm like, because I want my whole year in one book. I think that's what it really comes down to, even with my dailies, but it's just not possible, especially with me wanting to just do sloppy notes like this, where I might use, 6 pages in one day, and then, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to count up the pages, but I haven't even been trying to keep track of how many pages I'm using, how many pages I have left for the rest of the year, which you can see I have plenty. I'm just saying, but this is only half a year, And I guess it wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world to have 2 of these for my year. And I might find that after I stuff it so much, I'll, want to have a fresh notebook come June, or whatever. And kids' rooms. That's what I did. I spent my morning cleaning the kids' rooms and the front porch. It really looks nice now. I'm very happy with it. It is temperature. I changed my watch face, so now I'm having a hard time. Okay, 67 to 83 today. Yesterday it was, the high was 80, and it was like 65, I want to say. Something like that, or maybe not. Nah, it was probably 67. I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going off of my memory. Okay, my son had a dentist appointment, and I will show y'all that back here, because I know I had talked about this before, but I want to show it to y'all in action. Okay, I had talked about my health tracking, and here it is where it's in action. And I decided which I have to back plan all of this. Well, no, okay, that makes me feel better. I went sideways. I'm used to going like columns, and then for some reason I said, you know what, I'm going sideways. So I'm only behind like this many days. So it's not like, I don't even think we've had that much stuff going on. I don't even think I had no. I don't think I had a migraine or anything, and the kids haven't really been sick. No, not really. Okay. Anyways, I've decided to put a little asterisk or something beside whatever note, like Daniel had an orthodontist appointment, and then I went over here and I wrote all the details about that visit, the notes that were made, that he may have to get a tooth pulled, which tooth it was, why it might have to be pulled, and, he's going to have to get braces when he's 11 or 12. But that's like, that's what these 2 pages are in between the months. So you have the basic, sick day stuff, and then, like, I need to do this, but this is like the update, the details. Okay, my kids and my husband are all in the house now. This wasn't supposed to be a big, long video, so I've got to go get lunch done. I think the chicken patties are probably done by now. Hopefully not burned. And I will catch y'all in the next one. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of this year. That would be really, really exciting. And if you're a planner account, I will follow you back. Or if you're a bookish account or something like that, I will follow you back. I'm always looking for new channels to watch. Anyways, gotta go get dinner. Bye, y'all.